How's it? The Tom London Show is brought to you by Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers.
The Tom London Show.
It's a Tuesday afternoon in the city of gold. How's it?
I feel good. Thank you very much.
And one more.
Thank you very much.
For joining me on the show today. We'll be dipping into the comment section on both YouTube Live and Facebook Live. The show goes out every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. And the people in the Facebook group call themselves the Dysfunctionals. And then we got viewers in the YouTube group. Well, we love you too, and we love your comments. So make sure you get them in the comment section. The couple of things on the show today, we're going to be giving away. Hold on, let's have a look for it here. Look at this. This is by Honor, the cell phone brand. A beautiful canvas bag. And we're going to give away a very nice phone holder for your desk. And inside the bag is also a Xiaomi 10,000 milliamp hour phone bank. What do you call it? A battery power bank. So we give that away on the show today, or at least invite you to join in and win a prize. We'll also be looking at a guy who's got a swallow's nest in his house. I will be talking about the LIV Golf fight. If you didn't know about it, don't worry, I got it on video. And we will also be dealing with Juno Aurora Haven, which is a children's home in Kelvin in Sandton that I went to visit on Saturday. You might have seen the video on my Facebook page. But I want to tell you about the place and what I need help with. So attention, Tom's Army. I'm going to be asking you to help me with that today. I'm just looking at our internet here, and it's not very lacquer. You're just going to have to live with it unless we need to start again. I'm not sure. I think we'll just live with it for now. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, put your comments in the comment section. I haven't spoken to you in a while. I'd like to see what you're up to and how you're doing. I saw two things upset me this week. Two things really upset me this week. The one was a regular viewer of the show, Tammy Singh. I saw a post on her Facebook page where she spoke about a home invasion at her home, and I think her family were terrorized inside the house. I don't have all the details. I'm just going by what I saw on the Facebook page, but I hope that Tammy joins us and we can send her lots and lots of love, because after a trauma like that, you really need kindness from people. So, yeah, my thoughts and prayers and good wishes are going out to Tammy Singh and her family, who really went through hell this last week, it seems. And then the other thing that upset me, I just want to get my upsets out the way, first of all. The other thing that upset me was the slaying of that young lawyer in the Johannesburg CBD. I think it was yesterday. I was scrolling through X and I saw these horrific photographs of a lady lying in the street with the silver blanket over her. And it turns out she's a labor lawyer, and she was fighting a case on behalf of a mine. And it looks like, it appears as if the people on the other side of the case, they didn't go to their attorneys. They just pulled out guns, and that was her. It is. I hate to use the word shocking because it's overused in this country, but it is. It is absolutely frightening and shocking when a young person, because I think she was 35 years old, that's young, when a young person loses their life that way. And also, we talk about getting manufacturing going in this country, and we talk about getting foreign investment and more local investment into businesses. But if labor disputes land up as shootings inside the Joburg CBD outside the CCMA offices, then who wants to open a business if that's what happens if you want to fire the staff? So I've always had very strong ideas on, I don't know what yours are when it comes to staff, hiring and firing staff. I've never really had the labor law on my side as a so-called employee, because when I worked in broadcasting, like many broadcasters, it was on a contractual basis, so you weren't a permanent employee, you weren't you weren't really entitled to all of the benefits that a full-time employee has. And also, the contracts were structured in a way that if one party wanted the other one to leave, or one party wanted to leave, so if I wanted to leave 7:02, for example, I could just hand in my notice and leave. And the same for them. And that seemed to work quite well, I must tell you, because I really wanted to keep my job. So I never relied on any labor laws to keep my job. I had to rely on performance. And I've been exposed to business owners who operate in states like Florida in America, for example, where if you come to work late and they don't like your attitude or your face, they can just say you're fired and off you go. I would far prefer a system like that in South Africa. I think it builds better businesses, it improves efficiency, and if you can lose your job, you won't have any tendencies to mess around. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know that I know that labor laws are there to protect people, etc., but you can't, if you can't fire someone without getting shot, then we've got a problem. So that really did upset me. I was upset by that. But the good news is we're going to do some good, Tom's Army, for the Juno Aurora Children's Haven, or the Juno Aurora Haven, the children's home in Kelvin. I'll tell you all about that in just a moment, and I'll tell you about some of the things that I've observed and seen. We'll give the power bank away, or we'll just open the competition today. Maybe we'll announce the winner on Thursday's show. But if you're in need of something like that, stick around because it could go to you. Okay, let's see who's on board and who was first. First up today is Margaret Guider, who says, hello, boys and girls. Hello, Margaret. Anita Mainhardt says, hello, Tom and the Dysfunctional Family. Heather Knickelbein is on board, says, good afternoon, Tom and the Dysfunctionals. Barbara Ann says, hi, Tom. Looking forward to your show today. Thank you. It's good to be in your company. Emily Hudson says, hello, Dysfunctional Family. Looks like a good prize today, baby heart. Charmaine Ninob says, good afternoon, Tom and friends. Good to be back today. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah, this flu's a strange one. Have you had it? Has someone you know had it? It kind of knocks you for about 5 days, like really knocks you. And then day 6 or 7, you go, oh, okay, I'm getting better. And then you just sit at that same level for another week. And I think it takes about 2 weeks to get over this flu. But I'm feeling a whole lot better. I'm like at 95% at the moment. Laura McDonald says, hi, Tommy and everyone. Hi, Laura. Sharon Davis Hannibal says, hi, everybody. Love you. Anita Maynard says, the signal is cut. That's my side, but it should have improved by now. That LIV Golf fight was crazy. How come people cannot behave themselves? It's disgusting. So would you like to see the LIV fight? Not LIV. LIV Golf fight. Here it comes. All right. You ready? I've got it here. I've got the footage. If you haven't seen it, then come and take a look at this. All right. You ready? Let's do this. All right. So here we go. This was at LIV Golf. And there you can see some oaks are about to have a conversation. There we go. Yeah. Muram! Clap on boots! Slat on! You see the spectators are loving it. Yo! There's the real fight. Okay, come on, Muram!
Go on, you're gonna have to do it now.
Yeah, come on, Muram! That's South Africans there. Muram! You don't stop the fight. You cheer them on. You pick a winner, pick a loser. Hey, that I've got clapped. My goodness. So, yeah, and then the security came up. If I was a security guard, I wouldn't want to get involved in this thing. I'd be like, hey, hold on, the ladies are getting involved now. What the heck is going on here? Sure, there we go. So, whoa, okay, all right. That lady, she's decided to leave the fight. So this was going on, I think this was on Sunday at LIV Golf. Now, I've got to explain that I'm not much of a golfer. When I was a teenager, my grandfather on my dad's side was a very, very good golfer. He was like a scratch golfer. He played in pro-am tournaments, and we all knew that grandpa plays golf. And as kids, we wanted to be like grandpa. And I wanted it. When I had a grandpa that played good golf, then I think he'd played with Gary Player in a pro-am tournament in Bloemfontein or something. It was a big thing in the family. And I thought I also want to play golf. And so I went to the driving range with a 9-iron. And I clapped balls one after another until I could hit a decent shot with a 9-iron. But I discovered very quickly in golf that just because you can hit a good shot with a 9-iron doesn't mean you've got the wood sorted out, or the chipper, or the putter, or it just never stops. You master one, you don't even master it. You kind of get okay with one thing, and then another club presents itself, and you got to learn all over again. And I just lost my patience with golf at that stage. I remember the very first and only proper golf game I went on was with my brother and a friend of his called Richard. And Richard was a very good golfer. My brother wasn't bad, and I was cuck. And I was, my balls were going all over the place, into the rough and into the bunkers. And my brother's friend kept laughing at me. And we were going to do 18 holes. We got to the 9th hole, which I think was a par 3. And I battled my way along the course. But my brother's friend, he got to the green in 1, which meant he could birdie putt and get 1 under for that hole. And I walked ahead of the two of them. I didn't know golfers could get so upset. I thought it was a placid game. I picked up his ball because he'd been ragging me, and I threw it into the bushes. And he then chased me around the golf course, swinging his golf I was running away from him. He was swinging his golf club all over the place. And, oh, you like that, do you, Daryl? He was swinging his golf club all over the place. And I had to run for my life. And I realized that, whoa, don't mess with golfers, because you touch them on their studio, they get violent. Now, cue forward 15 years or so when I'm working on talk radio, and I get an invite to go to the $1 Million Challenge at Sun City. I'd been to a couple of events at Sun City in my broadcasting days. In fact, I've probably been to Sun City too many times. That's how I feel about it. I'm just, okay, I'm Sun City worn out. But okay, they said they'd drive us up in a limo and we'd have a private box, etc., etc. Well, that sounds like a nice day out. And then I got in this limo. First time I'd driven in a limousine, I realized the ceiling is very, what you call it, the roof, the ceiling of the limo is very low. It's too low for a tall guy like me. So I had to sit with my head like that all the way to Sun City. And I thought, I can't do this on the way back. Plus, I had flu at the time. I wasn't feeling well. Pilsner Urquell, I think, were the people who drove me up there. And I went to the Pilsner Urquell box, and I sat in an air-conditioned box because it was like 40 degrees outside. And eventually it got too cold. And I thought, what am I going to do? I don't know, let me take one of those big Pilsner Urquell umbrellas and walk to the end of the golf course where there are no people, and I'll go lie down there and I'll sleep for a few hours in the shade of the umbrella, which is what I did. I walked right to the end of the golf course where it meets the nature reserve or whatever happens at the fence, and I put the umbrella on the ground, and I got the shade right, and I lay down and I fell asleep. And I don't know how much longer it was, but I felt someone pressing my nose like that. I just felt this finger on my nose, and that's how I woke up. And I opened my eyes. I mean, my brain was still trying to process who would be pressing my nose with their finger on a golf course. It happened to be a male Chacma baboon, biggest bloody baboon I've ever seen in my life. And he was, this baboon was sitting there pressing my nose like that. It was... I was like, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm out of here. And I don't know who got the bigger fright when I jumped up and grabbed the umbrella and ran, me or the baboon. But we both ran in opposite directions. And I thought, let me go and watch some of this stuff they call golf. And this brings me to my LIV Golf story. I thought that watching golf was a placid affair. I thought you go and get a Coca-Cola or something, and you stand next to someone and go, good afternoon, how are you? And they go, oh, very well. And you, did you see Jim Furyk tee off on the 18th? What a perfect shot, straight down the fairway. Well, it doesn't work like that. You grab a beer, you grab dop. There's lots of dop at these things. There's booze everywhere, and everyone is boozing. Everyone. Like, you think a rugby game is boozy? Rugby games, you got to work out how to squirt the brandy into the nachi, or you go buy a watered down beer somewhere. But at golf, full strength alcohol everywhere, and everyone is sozzled. And I'm standing on the 18th fairway, and I'm watching Jim Furyk, actually, I think he won that year, teeing off on the 18th, and he tees off, and perfect shot, and everyone's cheering. And then the next thing, these two oaks on either side of me, they get into an argument, and there's punches thrown across me, and I step backwards. I'm not going to get involved in this nonsense. And these two drunken idiots, they fight with each other, and then they roll on the ground. And then security has to come along and break them up. And then some guy, he was so drunk, he just fell over. He just did a whole pole axe thing backwards. He went boom and cracked his skull. And then paramedics had to come and put him on a stretcher, take him to a hospital tent or something, triage. That was the one and only time I went to a golf tournament as a spectator. And I swore, never again. I'm looking at some of these ticket prices to watch LIV Golf, and there's thousands of rands to get into a fight. No, thank you. But anyway, maybe I'm the only South African who wasn't surprised when that video came out of these oaks having a more of a fight at the LIV Golf on the weekend. I looked at that, I was like, yeah, that's what happens at these golfing things. I've seen this before. They're not going to club that oak now, and then his girlfriend's going to jump in. Then the other oak's mother's going to jump in. And I don't know, these might be four-ways guys. They could be East Rand or four-ways guys. I don't know where they're from, but yeah, that didn't surprise me at all. Now, the whole country is shocked and surprised. I think I'm the only South African seen that before. That happens at every golf game. But yeah, you're right, Charmaine. The LIV Golf fight. Must be careful how I say that. The LIV fight golf was crazy. How come people cannot behave themselves? It's booze. It's booze. It's booze, booze, booze. Helen Mitbach says, hello, everybody. Anita Maynard says, love your shirt, Tom. Thank you. This is a shirt that's sponsored by viewers, actually. Another headline that's so tragic. The beautiful young woman shot outside the court yesterday. It's so sad. Yeah, I spoke about that at the beginning of the show. It's horrific. And I hope that some action happens there and people get caught and sent to jail. A lot of love and prayers being sent to Tammy. Apparently that lady that was slain in the Joburg CBD was a top runner. I did see some reports on that. It's just so sad. So sad. She's doing her job. She's doing a job. Not an illegal job. What she's doing is legal. And she's doing her job, and then that's the end. It's just horrible. Good morning, says Karen Atwell. Tragic lawyer event reminds me of the guy that was also gunned down. Too much of that happening in South Africa. Way too much of these assassinations. Helen says the golf was amazing. I watched the entire day on Sunday. The national anthem singing at the 18th was goosebumps. The stupid fights of drunken children should not tarnish everything that event brought. Now, I just don't think you can have a golf tournament without somebody clubbing somebody. I really, really don't. Patricia says, so sorry to hear about the traumatic ordeal Tammy Singh and her family had to endure. I hope they're treated with much kindness and compassion, care and support. May you be comforted. Bring back the death sentence, says Anita. How do I pronounce that name? Leona. Is that right? Lorna or Leona? Leona Watkins. Afternoon from Team Sorbet, Park Dean Boulevard. Oh, I love beauty therapy places. I don't think I've ever spoken about this before. But, if you said to me, hey, how's it, Tom? Hey, would you like to go to the LIV Golf on Friday, or would you rather go to Sorbet Park Dean Boulevard? I'd be like, Sorbet, but express delivery me to Sorbet. There are things they can do for me there. There was a time when I lived in Kensington, I would go to Eastgate, and they had Dream Nails back in the day. I don't know whether you still get them, but they had Dream Nails. And the Dream Nails was just at the parking, as you came out of the parking into the mall, and it had a glass front. And I used to like getting a manicure. And the only reason I did that was my mom. My mom would speak of her uncle, who was a banker in Denmark. And she used to say, Uncle Torquil used to have a manicure every week. His hands were almost always immaculate. And I thought, I should do that. I should be like my Danish Uncle Torquil. And I used to take myself off once a week for a manicure. And I used to love it. And women notice these things. You go have a manicure as a man, and then the next few days, wherever you go, people go, oh, you've got such lovely hands. I never knew you looked at our hands. But you do. And so I continued. But there wasn't one time that I didn't sit there having a manicure that some couple would walk past and then they'd stop and the guy would take out his phone and take a picture of, like, check that out there, that does your mommy's having his nails done there. And they'd take pictures of me and I'd smile and I'd hold my hands up and have people take pictures of me. But I am all for men going to beauty parlors. I really, really am. And I don't think it makes you less masculine. I don't. But, the guys at the golf there that were blixing each other, they might disagree. Hello, Sorbet, Parkdean Boulevard. I had the good fortune of meeting the founder, I think Ian Furr is his name, some years ago. And there was an interview that Stan did, and I met him, and he gave me a book, and he signed it. And wonderful story, the story of Sorbet. So welcome on board, Leona Watkins. Patricia Ann Wallace says, glad to hear you almost better, Tom. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Gaynor Schullenberg says, hi, Tom and everybody. I wonder how drunk the Oaks were at the golf course. The Clippies was talking. Hier kom die manne fat om fluffy, pathetic. Well, I mean, it's fun to watch, isn't it? Tomorrow, Tom, I will be 81 years old. I cannot believe it. The years have flown by. 81. I remember when my grandmother was 81, I used to say, Momo, how old do you feel? And she used to say, I feel 18 inside. It's just the outside. Don't feel like 18. And 81. What a great age. You're privileged to have got to that age. And I wish you many, many, many more years. I hope we're still chatting when you're 91. So happy birthday, Gaynor Schullenberg. Perhaps we can all wish Gaynor a happy birthday for tomorrow. 81 years old. Heather Kozakiewicz says, hi, just to advise, my daughter-in-law is now talking, which is a good thing, but still a long way to go. Her back buddy that Alistair's put on prevention to shows. Okay, good. That's good to hear. Heather Knickelbein says, happy birthday, Gaynor, for tomorrow. Had the best time for 10 years running at NGC. Laugh out loud, you're so funny. Those baboons, they were so scary. I got the fright of my life, and I forgot to turn the aircon on here today, so I've got these hot lights on. So Svetzin, I never forget that. I never forget the feeling of that finger on my nose. It felt just like a human being. Good afternoon, Tom and friends. How is everyone today? Asked Beverly and Lloyd. Anita says golf is boring like cricket. You know me, I'm a F1 fan and I like watching figure skating and gymnastics. I mean, that's the sum total of my sports viewing. Shama Ninava says golf and cricket are supposed to be a gentleman's game, but unfortunately alcohol causes havoc. And do you think these mongooses drink and drive home? Yeah. Emily Hudson says, Anita Maynard, I also want a few new tops. Stunning, Tom. You look great. Thank you. There are men with lots of money playing golf, but their manners get lost along the way to the forum. Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people, golf is just what you do until you get to the clubhouse and then you get drunk. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me tell you, Tom, it's much better to watch golf from the comfort of your home where you can see every hole. I agree. Anita Maynard says, Emily, his shirt is awesome. Gaynor Schullenberg, happy birthday for tomorrow. Hello from Perth, says Gwen Sanders. Thanks for joining us out of Oz. What else we got here? Dream Nails couldn't cope with the toxic fumes. We look at your hands because we have to hold your hands, says Shaman Ninaba. That's a good one. Nothing nicer than a man with well-kept nails and hands. Yeah, I think I need to get back into that routine. I'm looking a bit like a mechanic at the moment. Gaynor says the only thing that's wrong is her spine. Well, there we go. 81 years old and it's just the spine. We should just say thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Tom, says Debbie Elevelt. And what else we got here? Love your shows, Tom, says Sue. Thank you, Sue. And we'll get some more people along the way that will comment and join us on the fun today. Shall we have some fun? I wanted to show you this very cute little video of a swallow. So I found this on TikTok or X. And it's a guy who lives with his family, and swallows built a nest in their living room some years back. And every year they come back from Europe, or wherever, I think that Europe, right? They fly back and they have babies, and then they all fly over and they do it again, rinse, repeat next year. But the amazing thing is that this little swallow family and generations of the swallow family have been doing this for 34 years. Take a look. It's this one here. Take a look at this.
Yeah. We are sitting inside, and that there, that you see there is a nest for lesser striped swallows, and probably the only house in the village where one just came out now. I don't know if you guys saw that. Probably the
It's
only
also going
house
to come
in the
back in.
village
It's going to
that
come
has
back in
got
now. Watch.
swallows nesting here. Now, the most interesting things about this nest is that this house was built in 1992. 1992, and this nest has been here since 1992. So over the years, these swallows have been nesting here every single year. There they are.
See?
Going inside.
How cute is that?
They come out with new babies. They go, they disappear every year. They come back. They nest every single year since 1992.
How cool is that? 1992 or 94, I think it was, that those swallows have been. And I saw it and I thought that was very cute, and I wanted to show it to you. And I see a painter who painted the room. He did a little bit of the swallow's nest, but then he decided not to. And I thought that was very, very, very cute. So that was something that warmed my heart. Hopefully it did something to you. And then there was this. I saw this post. Now, these people, the Longmore, Stuart and Shelley Longmore from the Nest in the Drakensberg. If you've ever stayed at the Nest, you'll recognize them for sure. They are about to go on retirement. And Shelley and Stuart, I met them in Springs years and years ago when I was unemployed. And my mom told Shelley that I was looking for a job, and I was in the pizza shop buying a pizza, because that was like the sum total of my daily activities when I was 19. And Shelley said, I believe you're looking for a job. And I said, yes. And she said, well, I'll give you a job. Come and report for duty 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I was like, what? 5 in the morning? And they had a spit braai business where they had 40 spit braais and a couple of oxen braais. And I went off with Stuart, the man in the photograph there. I went off with Stuart to Magaliesberg, where we did a corporate function. I think him and I, just the two of us, catered for 200 people. And the whole day he was on my back, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was putting the motor on the wrong way, and I was putting the fire in the wrong way, and I was lighting it the wrong way. And the whole day he was like, Thomas, you don't do it like that. He used to call me Thomas. Thomas, you don't do it like that. You do it like this, Thomas. And he said, no, not like that, Thomas. Not like that. You do it like this, Thomas. And the whole day, not like that, Thomas. You do it like this. No, have a look here, Thomas. You don't do it like that, Thomas. You do it like this. This went on for hours. And then people at the spit braai, the company people, they were like coming up to me while the sheep were turning on the spits, and they're like, how's it? Are you doing the spit braai here today? Hey? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, don't forget that the fillet in the back is mine, hey? It's like, how am I supposed to remember you out of 200 people? And where are you going to be in the queue? And then people come up to you like, I want the skin. Some people come up to you, they say, I want the skin. Don't forget the skin is mine. Others say, don't forget the ribs are mine. And you got 20 people want the skin, 30 people want the ribs, 10 want the fillets. I was just having, and then at the end of the day, you take all the plates and knives and forks and you scrape all the leftover food off. And I left that event that day. My eyebrows were burned off, the hair on my arms gone, and my hair was singed from the fire. I had pig and lamb and beef fat all over me. My clothes were ruined. And I think in those days, I used to work for about $50 a day. And as we were driving out, I was very quiet in the combi we had. And in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to be doing a spit braai again. Never. I will never, ever go into catering, or never. And by the way, don't ever say never, because you will land up there. And that's what I was doing. I was tempting fate and the universe, and I was like, never will I do this again. On my $50, and I never see these people again. This Oak Stuart. And then, as we were driving out, Stuart Longmore said something to me that no one had ever said in my young working life. No one had ever said these words to me. Stuart turned around to me as we were driving out, and he said to me, Thomas, Thomas says, yes, you had to learn fast there today, boy. I'm like, yeah, Stuart. he says, I know I was on your case today, but we had to get that work done. 200 people, we had to cater to them. There was no stuffing around, Thomas? But you did all right, And I was still like, I don't want to know this. And then as we drove out, he said, but I just want to say something to you. And I was like, okay, now I'm ready for it, but give it to me and I'm going to give it straight back to you. And he said, I just want to say, Thomas, thank you very much. I was like, what? Thank you very much for your hard work today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, like that. And I'd never been thanked before. In the little jobs I'd done here and there, I delivered newspapers, I did different jobs. I worked in the family business. Nobody ever, at the end of a working day came to me and said, I just want to thank you for your work today. And I was blown away by that. And I worked for Stuart and Shelley Longmore for years. Even when I worked on radio, I was this famous radio DJ. They'd call me and say, can you do a function in Woodmead on Friday? Yeah, for my $50, let's do it. I just loved them so much that I would work for free for them. And then years later, I found out that they'd bought the Monk's Cowl Hotel in the Drakensberg. In fact, the way I found that out was quite weird because I can't remember if it was Stuart's sister or ex-wife or someone related to Stuart. Their dog, they'd moved from Benoni to Randburg or something, and they had to leave the dog behind because the place was smaller. And the dog walked all the way from Benoni to Honeydew or something. It was a big story. It was in the media, and I said, hey, I want them on my show. And they came, and I saw the surname's Longmore, and they said, oh, yeah, Stuart. Well, yeah, we're related. And I got back in touch with them, and I went to visit them a few times at Monk's Cowl. Those two people, what they've done with their two hands, when you see people that grow something and they do well in life, and that they've done it with their own sweat and their own two hands, and they had 6 kids. 6 kids, 2 his, 2 hers, 2 theirs. And everyone got along. The family was amazing, and all the children worked. I remember going to my first day that I worked for Stuart and Shelley, and they had a little oak. I think his name was James. I can't remember his name. It was a little oak. He was only like 4 years old or something. He had a job as well. He had to carry the salad bowls out to the bakkie or something. So all the kids had this great work ethic, and Shelley and Stuart built Monk's Cowl into a beautiful, beautiful resort in the Drakensberg, and then I think they sold it to Goodison's, and I thought they were going to retire, but then they bought the Nest. And now I believe they're retiring, although when they say they're retiring, I do not believe them. But I do hope, after all these years of hard work and success, that they do take a break and that they just enjoy life, man, without having to work hard, because they've worked hard for many, many, many years. But those two people, they are most definitely heroes of mine, Stuart and Shelley Longmore. Can we have a round of applause for the Longmores down at the Nest in the Drakensberg? Super, super, super people. Super, superb people. And also, thank you, Stuart Longmore, for teaching me the value of...
Thank you very much.
And I use it now whenever someone works for me at the end of a working day. I make sure that I say thank you to them for their work, and I believe that makes a very big difference. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that and tell you about the Longmores and their retirement, although I don't believe they really retire, and they probably find something else to do. Let's see what else we got here. In a moment, I want to talk to you about the Juno Aurora Children's Home, so that's coming up. What else we got? Tom, are you going to have a show every day? I don't know. I've got to build this show. I mean, this show's still got to be built quite a bit. But let's see. You never know. Humble apologies. I'm so late. Nikki Hart. Thank you, Nikki, for joining us. That little swallow feels at home within a home. Even the chickens are at home. Too adorable. Isn't that a lovely video? Just warmed my heart. Gorgeous post about the swallows. The swallows came back to my home every year. It was so peaceful to watch them. Yeah, my maternal grandparents also had a little swallows nest at their house, and we'd wait for them. Come spring, I think it was, we'd wait. And then the big excitement when the swallows had returned from Europe. That shirt you're wearing is a really good color on you, says Nikki Hart. Well, I know the lady who gave it to me, Nikki Hart. Yes. So glad you are better. Missed the show. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Sharon. Love these casual chats. They're good for the soul. Thank you for our shoes, Tom. Our shoes? Oh, shows. Okay, no, that makes more sense because I haven't given anyone shoes in a long, long time. Amazing what it does for people to show appreciation. You still remember it today. I've never forgotten that. Thank you. Some people have pressed the like button, some have pressed the heart button, and we've made a few people laugh and 2 people go, wow. If you've pressed the button, you are a true, true friend. You are part of this. You are part of my DNA. If you haven't pressed the button, you're an acquaintance. So, see if I care. Thank you, Thomas, for your hard work with the split bri. Good one, Boyke. And hey there, everyone, says Jean Nootman, who's been having a tough time, I think, in Leratong Hospital. I'm going to chat to him a bit later and see what we can do. Okay. Una apologizes for her absence. She's working herself to death. That's not good. Well, we miss her. We definitely do miss her. All right, so I'm just wondering, what should we do for this giveaway? See, I got this lacquer honor gift. It's a phone holder for your desk. Once you've got one of these, you'll really want to use it. And then I've got a Xiaomi 10,000 milliamp hour 22.5 watt power bank we're going to give away on the show or on this post. And I don't want to make it too complicated. I don't want to make it so complicated that you have to answer questions or something like that. What should we do to give it away? I was thinking of a rhyme, but I don't know what rhymes with power bank. There's only one word I can think of that rhymes with power bank. I don't want to go there, so I'm just trying to work out how we're going to give this power bank away. Perhaps you want to tell me that's even too complicated, why you need it. I mean, everyone needs a power bank. Perhaps nominate someone. Shall we do that? Perhaps nominate someone who you think could use the power bank. So there we go. That's what we'll do. On this show and in the comment section, either on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll make a shorts video out of this that will also qualify. You just nominate someone. You could, even if you want to nominate yourself, or you want to nominate a family member or a friend or a colleague, just put their name in there, someone you think could use the power bank, and then I will choose one of the names out of a hat, and somebody will get the power bank. So there we go. That's from Africa Mobile. And what else did I want to show you? Oh, I wanted to show you this children's home. This is the Juno Aurora Haven. They have, I think, 16 or maybe 18 kids there, from 2 years old to about 15 years old. I'm showing you pictures from their Facebook page, so I'm not contravening any privacy laws here. This is a public page, and you can see these children are just delightful. I went along on Saturday. Gavin Maestri from Suzuki Ravonia called me last week and said, Tom, my wife has come across this children's home in Kelvin, and they might need our help. Will you meet me on Saturday? I said, absolutely. And on Saturday, I went through to the Juno Aurora home, and I met the children, I met the caregivers, and I met the people that run it. And I took a good walk around the property. And, you know, I want to assess it. These kind of things I want to see myself, and I want to assess with my own eyes and ears. Firstly, I've been in a lot of children's homes. In my work over the years, I've probably been into 200 children's homes around the country. So I've seen these children's homes many times before, and the story is often similar. And I'll give you the story for Juno Aurora. They are, like most children's homes, constantly short of money, but they seem to scrape by. They've got lovely donors, and they do fundraising and stuff like that for cash so that they can pay their expenses. They've got to pay water and lights, and they've got to pay for teachers that come in and help the kids, and they've got to pay the caregivers that look after them. And there are not that many bills to pay, but those bills run up, and I think they've probably got expenses of around 30 to 40,000 Rand a month. And I asked if they're doing okay, if they're meeting those expenses, and they said they do. They scrape by. I mean, it's not easy, but they manage to scrape by. And I was walking around looking at what we could do for them. And when you're running a children's home, your focus is on the kids. Your focus is on making sure that they're not harmed, making sure they're safe, making sure they're getting educated, making sure they're well fed, and making sure they are clothed. And Juno Aurora do a good job of that. You can see these children are not going without food. They've got clothes. Yeah, a lot of them are second-hand clothes and hand-me-downs from people who've donated. But they've got clothes, they've got food, and they're getting an education. But the property's a little run down. I walked around and I said they can afford to bring a gardener in once a month, which just isn't enough. They probably need a gardener in twice a month, or maybe once a week, but they can only afford once a month. And so the result is the leaves that drop from the oak trees lie around and the grass gets a bit long and it looks a little bit shabby. And I thought, okay, well, there's one thing we can do. If we're going to raise any cash, we can get a garden service in there and clean the place up really nicely. So there's one thing that I need some help with. And then I thought they've got this outside area where they all have meals. It's an outside patio, and it's got a wooden structure and what do you call it, that perspex see-through sheeting on the top, but it's not covered on the sides. And they're using curtains and sheets and material and stuff like that and hammer it into the wood to try and give some protection from the elements when they're outside eating. And I think a better situation can be put together there. You know, those roller blinds that you see in restaurants that they use in the outdoor sections, they really need something like that. So the list of what they could do with is good spring clean in the house, maybe, good clean in the garden, blinds for the outside patio area so the kids, when they sit outside or they eat or whatever, they're in a nice, secure from the elements area. And then they're just spending a lot of money on data at the moment because they're using prepaid data. Now, I checked, there is fiber in the area, and we can get fiber in for about 300 Rand a month. One of Tom's Army has already said that they will sponsor the fiber for the Juno Aurora Haven. So they want to remain anonymous, I think. So, anonymous donor, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We will be getting fiber in there ASAP so that they can stop spending 2,000 Rand a month on data. And then they can rather put that towards their expenses. So the fiber's taken care of. The garden service, I will take care of out of my pocket. I will take a bit of money out of my bank account, and I will pay for the gardeners to come in, which just leaves us with the outdoor area and some cupboards. The kids have got lots of clothes, but they don't have many cupboards to put the clothes in, and they're short about 2 big cupboards. Now, I know that the Suzuki Rivonia guys were taking measurements and things for cupboards, so I'm going to have a meeting with them on Thursday probably and find out what they'd like to do, and perhaps they'll contribute the cupboards. But what I think we're really going to need help with is the blinds. Those aren't cheap. I don't know much about those blinds. It's been 20 years since I've installed blinds like that in a business, so I don't even know what it costs. But I imagine those blinds are not cheap. I'm guessing in the region of 20 to 30,000 Rand. That's what I'm thinking. They're somewhere in that region. So somehow, Tom's Army, we've got to find a way to put those blinds up. Now, it might be that Suzuki Rivonia will give us a little bit of money towards that, and then we don't have to find as much as we normally would, but we're still going to have to find either the cash or a supplier, somebody who puts those blinds up for a living. Now, we don't want everything for mahala. We understand that businesses can't just give everything away, but perhaps we could find someone who would do it for material cost. Or we could pay for the materials and they would do it, they would throw the labor in. I don't know, something like that. So I'm making this appeal today to ask you if you are able to, please, if you know anybody in that business who installs those roll-up blinds, those canvas roll-up blinds, if you know anybody, please have a chat to them and ask them whether they'd be interested in getting involved in a project like this. We'll give them lots of publicity, of course, but the main thing is we'll be doing something good, and we don't expect it for nothing, but we'd like more of a discount. So if you know somebody like that, please think about it, have a chat to them, maybe get in touch with me, just write in the comment section and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I really want to see those blinds up there so that those kids are in a nice environment when they have their meals. And then I think we should start raising a bit of money for this, because I think we're going to need some. I just got a suspicion we're going to need some for the blinds. So I'm going to direct you to our Weekly Wish Back a Buddy account, which I think we've got about 1,000 Rand, maybe 2,000 Rand in there at the moment. I mean, that's what we've collected so far over the last year, 22,000 Rand, but we've paid a lot of that out along the way. But yeah, I see Moira LaRue. Thank you, Moira. Look at that. Moira gave us $1,000. That was for the lady we helped with groceries a month ago. And Henrietta Cortez also helped. So I just want to thank those people. Those are Tom's Army and Tom London Show viewers, and then Anonymous, also a Tom London Show viewer. But if you're able to, it's coming up to the end of the month. Please remember, you just go along to Weekly Wish with Tom London on Back a Buddy. There it is there, Weekly Wish with Tom London. And we're going to look for a couple of $1,000 to come in. I'll put a bit of money towards garden service. And if anyone can help us with this, we really want these kids at the Juno Aurora Haven to have a nice outdoor area. And all it's going to take, it's not going to take any building work or anything, it's just going to take those roller blinds to be installed. So any way you can help us, if you know somebody who's in that business, or you know somebody who does that for a living, or they've got a business that does that, please put me in touch with them. I'd be deeply grateful. And failing that, if you've got a little bit of cash at the end of the month or now, just pop it into the Weekly Wish with Tom London Back a Buddy account, and I'll make sure that whatever comes in from today is allocated to Juno Aurora Haven for that little project of cleaning up the place and putting those roller blinds in. And that's what I'd really, really, really like to get right. So I don't know how long it's going to take us to do this, but I'm happy to keep going with this for a couple of weeks until we've got some cash and we get Suzuki Rivonia involved and maybe a supplier that will give us a good quote or a good discount, and we could do something nice then. Of course, I'll take you along with me via video, but if you would like to come along and assist me on a day when we go to the home and we clean up or we spring clean or we do something together, then just let me know, and I'll add you to the list of people who come along, and we all go as an army, and we make a day of it. Maybe we can make hot dogs and oros or something. That's what I'd like, hot dogs and oros, tomato and mustard sauce, and we can have a little picnic at the home. So if you're prepared to volunteer your time, that would be lovely as well. I'm sure there's something we could find for you to do. And so that's what I would like to get right, and that's the big thing I wanted to talk about on the show today. So any help will be appreciated. If you know anybody in that business that installs or manufactures those canvas blinds, please let me know or put me in touch with them. And then alternatively, if you've got a bit of spare cash, put it into the Weekly Wish, the Back a Buddy Weekly Wish with Tom London account, and we'll make sure that anything that comes in from today is allocated to Juno Aurora Haven. It's so difficult trying to work out who to help. I get more than one request a day for help. Some days when I wake up, there are already 4 or 5 requests from people needing help. Some people I know personally, some people I've never met before. Just so many people in need and so many people who need help that some days it's easy to feel overwhelmed. And I never know how do I choose? Like who do you I hate to be in that position. Who do you choose for help? You know, who do we choose? But I couldn't say no to the Juno Aurora Haven. And I just find it very difficult to look into the eyes of children who need something and walk away and say no. So, these kids, they can't go out and work. These kids can't go out. And they've got no family to say, hey, can you lend me some money or help me with accommodation? They don't have that. These are abandoned children from all different backgrounds and different ages. And I just want to see them do well in life. I just want to see them get to 18 years old and stand a chance in this world. And whatever we can do to make it easier for them, that'd be great. Crispy Waffles got hold of me yesterday and said that they'd like to invite the children for waffles, which is just so kind of Karen. And we'll see if we can organize something like that. But it's been lovely. The response so far has been lovely. But I'm really looking for the canvas blinds people. That's it. So, Tom's Army, report for duty. The investigation is on. Please find me a canvas blind supplier. Nikki says, yes, the Swallows are back fixing their home here at the moment. That's lovely. Bridget. Hey, Bridget from Wissenhof. My bloodstream is sponsored, or the caffeine in my bloodstream is sponsored by Wissenhof. Kobus, Kobus!
Thank you very much.
You have an electric magnetic show, says Jean. Thank you. Alistair says, happy birthday, Gaynor Alice Benfield Schulenberg, and it's really more than the back, isn't it? He's causing trouble. That's his first comment. I really need a power bank, please, says Anita. Give the power bank to Anita. Power on, power off. Please give me the power of power, says Anita. Anita asked first, says Jean. Give it to Anita, says Helen. Sour tank equals power bank. Anita, says Bridget. Moira LaRue says, I nominate myself. Gaynor says, give it to Anita. Put the names of the people on your show today. Draw the name out the hat, says Barbara, and Klaus. Anita, power issues, says Corin. Anita seems to be the winner here. May I have the holder, please? Give the power bank to Gavin Langerfeld. He needs it on his shows to keep the tunes flowing. I nominate Gaynor for her 80. Oh, this is becoming impossible. Who do I give the power bank to? They need cooks and cleaners and loads of donations, says Alistair. Laura MacDonald says, Tom, I honestly need the phone stand and the power bank. If you know, Equestria, Pretoria East, the power is shocking, more off than on. Okay, should I try and organize a few more of these power banks from Africa Mobile? I'll ask Daryl and see whether he can organize some. Daryl, can you organize us some? Lekker, man. Maybe on Thursday I'll have a few more power banks to give away. Alice says, well, they can't do a permanent construction because they don't own the property. It's got to be blinds. I like your studio wall. Thank you very much. Please may I nominate myself. I'm an 81-year-old widow, and I need to communicate even if there's a power failure. I really feel more secure if I can keep my phone charged should I need help. Who do I give this to? I didn't think it would get that bad. Yeah, power issues on the South Coast, horrible. I'd love a good power bank. So I honestly, when Daryl came to me the other day from Africa Mobile, he said, do you want to give these away? I said to him, I don't know if anybody wants a power bank. I honestly almost turned this away. I said, I'm not sure. I don't know what people want. How are we going to mail this to them? He said, no, we'll mail it. I didn't know that people would want a power bank so badly. So I'll have a chat to Daryl and let's see if we can get some more power banks to give away. I really wish I could be there to work, says Anita. Sad, so many people need help. Tom's Army is sometimes on YouTube when sound is bad. I hope the sound is okay today. It should be. I mean, I'm hoping it's okay. Is it? Is the sound all right? Testing 1 2 1 2. Me, please. Gaynor for the power bank. It's her birthday, please. But what about Anita? And what about the other 81-year-old who's also got power issues? Patricia Wallace. She needs a power bank as well. What the hell am I going to do here? I got myself into a bit of a situation. Who do I give I'm not going to sleep for the next 2 nights. I'm going to give the power bank away on Thursday, all right? In the meantime, you can nominate people or yourself in the comment section down below, and we'll find a way to make it fair or unfair. I don't know. One of the two. Dimensions for the outside area. I'm going to go take those dimensions on Thursday, but I think it's an area about 5 meters by 6 meters, somewhere around there. Sound is good, says Anita. Okay, thank you. Well, I think that's it for today. My goodness, we discussed quite a lot. I hope that I like the cell holder. Not sure what a power bank is, says Moira. I'm running low on funds with my new business. Gavin Langerfeld for the power bank. Really? Are these things popular? He came to me, he said, oh, you want to give these away? I'm like, I'm not sure anyone would want a power bank. Who would want I shouldn't have said that. I mean, I was looking a gift horse in the mouth. But I was like, no, I'm not sure, This thing does look nice. Okay, I don't want to open it because it's brand new. But that's the power bank we'll give away. And the phone holder looks very nice. And we'll give that away as well. And then I'll chat to Africa Mobile and see if they've got some more prizes. Because if you're into this kind of stuff, I'm sure it's lying around in the cupboards here. So maybe we'll give a few more away. Can you send a power bank to Perth? If I throw it really, really hard. Yeah. Okay. I told you at the beginning of the show I forgot to put the aircon on. I'm under the lights here, and this studio has become very, very hot. If you don't believe me, let me show you the lights, because you don't really get to see what this looks like, right? So I'm just gonna put this phone on here so that you can see the studio. Right? So there's a light on me. Oh, there are the two chairs. If ever you want to come visit, those are yours. And then there's a light. That's a more of a light, that one. That's the backdrop for Through the Liberty Lens. Look out for that on my page in the next day or two. There's another light over there. It's a more of a light, and they're very, very hot. And I am sweating like a pig right now. And I think that's my cue to say goodbye. If you've hit the like button or the heart button, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And if you haven't, well, you know, you're not as tight. We're not as tight as you thought we were. But if you hit it, then we will be. We'll be best friends. And I'll see you on Thursday. We'll give the power bank away. Who knows? We may have more power banks to give away by Thursday. And I'll give you an update on what's happening with the Juno Aurora Haven and whether we are getting anywhere with our donations and help with the canvas blinds. Remember, Weekly Wish with Tom London. Just search for that. Weekly Wish with Tom London. Put it into Google and the page will come up on Backer Buddy. And whatever you've got. You've got 20 Rand, 50 Rand, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, 500 bucks, $1,000, 10,000, 100,000, $1 million. We'll take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we'll give it to kids. No admin fees. Thanks for the show, Tom. Well done under the hot lights and all. Adios. Bye and good wishes. Awesome show today. Thank you very much. Time to make supper, says Alistair. And time for me to head on out. I shall see you on Thursday. Thank you for joining me on the Tom London Show today. You are my best friends. Did you know that? The Tom London Show is brought to you by Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers.